18 WJTS News, I'm Charlotte Olson. An early evening traffic stop in Jasper led to the arrest of a Kentucky man on possession charges on Thursday. Jasper police stopped a 2001 Ford Explorer being driven by 57-year-old Floyd James Sykes of Frenchburg, Kentucky, on Thursday at 5:45 after the Ford failed to signal before turning. As police spoke with Sykes, they could smell a strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. Jasper Police Department K-9 Officer Aris had a positive indication on the vehicle. Police searched the vehicle and found a plastic baggie containing 3 grams of marijuana and a glass pipe with burnt marijuana residue. The Ford Explorer was impounded by Sternbergs, and Sykes was taken to and lodged into the DuBois County Security Center on charges of possession. At approximately 8:30 p.m. last night, a Philpott, Kentucky man found himself being arrested after being stopped for speeding and having a headlight out. Trooper Steve Nolan was conducting traffic patrols on State Road 66 near the Warwick-Spencer County line when he stopped a vehicle for traveling 73 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone and for also having a headlamp out. As Trooper Nolan was speaking with the driver, he noticed a strong odor of marijuana coming from within the vehicle. Trooper Nolan also notified that the driver, Robert C. Newton, 23 of Philpott, Kentucky, showed signs of being impaired. After conducting a standardized field sobriety test, Trooper Nolan determined that Newton was impaired and detained him so a chemical test could be officially conducted. A search of the vehicle revealed a large plastic bag containing marijuana and over $1,500 in cash and other items commonly associated with the use and sale of illegal drugs. A chemical test was conducted, however, the results will not be known for some time as they are sent to the Indiana Department of Toxicology for analysis. Newton was transported to the Spencer County Jail and remained to the custody of the jail staff without incident. Newton is facing charges of dealing marijuana, a level 6 felony, possession of marijuana, a class B misdemeanor, operating a vehicle while intoxicated, a class A misdemeanor, and operating a vehicle while intoxicated with a controlled substance, which is a class C misdemeanor. Assisting at the scene was Trooper Nathaniel Kern, and the Spencer County Sheriff's official suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, along with the DuBois Strong and the town of Ferdinand, will be presenting the mobile property in Ferdinand as an Indiana Prime site on Friday, February the 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time at the Ferdinand Town Hall. The Indiana Site Certified program certifies sites that are ready for economic development. Communities of any size may apply for the designation through the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Indiana recognizes 3 tiers of readiness: Silver, Gold, and Prime. Ferdinand will be designated as Prime. The Prime tier builds upon Gold by requiring 30 contiguous acres in a location no more than 2.5 miles from a state highway and an archaeological investigation. In addition, the Lug, Leto, and Redo must own the property, or an option must be held with the owner. Indiana Site Certified sites are featured on Indiana's Site Selector database and will be included in the Indiana Economic Development Corporation's marketing materials. The physical address of the Ferdinand Mobile, Indiana Prime site is West 23rd Street, Industrial Park Road. If you have any questions, contact DuBois Strong at 812-482-9650 or success@duboisstrong.com. Conservative businessman and former U.S. Senate candidate Mike Braun of Jasper says that he has received the endorsement of another Indiana business leader, Terry Henderson. Henderson, a native of Atlanta and a president of Achieve Incorporated in Carmel, mounted his own bid for the Senate last year. Henderson says that Washington is broken and says that we'll never fix it by promoting the career politicians that got us into the mess in the first place. He added that Hoosier Republicans need Mike Braun, who is a proven conservative businessman who has the skills needed to make a difference in Washington. Henderson's endorsement follows a wave of momentum for Braun, who recently showed strong fourth-quarter fundraising numbers despite stagnation by his primary competitors. Braun says that he's very thankful for Terry's support and feels that it shows more Hoosiers believe in his message than real solutions don't come from the swamp. Braun says that Indiana business owners know all too well that Washington's incompetence has cost our country trillions of dollars, and he says that he's proud to have a conservative businessman like Terry joining his mission to shake up things in D.C. Braun is in a three-way race for the Republican nomination in the May Senate primary. He will battle 6th District Congressman Luke Messer and 4th District Congressman Todd Rokia for the right to face the Democratic Senator Joe Donnelly in the November general election for the U.S. Senate seat. Narcotics investigations and a multiple agency raid led by the Martin County Sheriff's Office earlier this week has resulted in the arrest of 7 people on drug-related charges. First, the Sheriff's Office says that this past Monday, 43-year-old Angela Reynolds of Shoals contacted a confidential informant to sell methamphetamine. They say a sheriff's deputy acting as an undercover officer picked up Reynolds south of Lagodi. Other authorities followed in an unmarked car, and they say that Reynolds' story changed once she was in the vehicle. Reynolds told the undercover deputy that she wanted to delay the delivery of the methamphetamine but still took the money. Anticipating the transaction would not be completed, officers ended the operation at a gas station in Shoals. Deputies say that Reynolds had placed a gym bag in the back of the car when she was picked up, and upon searching the bag, a glass smoking pipe and a plastic container was found, and both field tested positive for methamphetamine. Reynolds was taken and placed under arrest, and she was taken to and booked into the Martin County Jail on a level 4 felony count of conspiracy to deal methamphetamine, a level 6 felony count of possession of methamphetamine, and a misdemeanor count of possession of paraphernalia. Then, later in the early morning hours of this past Tuesday, members of the Martin County Sheriff's Department also conducted a controlled buy in Lagodi. They say that during the buy, 52-year-old Tony and 49-year-old Tammy Allen, both of Lagodi, sold methamphetamine with minors present in their home. Authorities say that there was also a pistol reported present during the transaction. Around 3 a.m., the operation was suspended and it was decided to execute a search warrant on the Allen residence later in the morning, at which time the minors would not be present. At approximately 10 a.m., an officer with the Lagodi Police Department and a member of the Sheriff Department led the execution of a search warrant on the Allen residence. Police say that when they arrived, they knocked and both Tony and Tammy came to the door. Tony Allen was secured and police removed a firearm from his hip. And the rest of the house was cleared and 2 males identified as 25-year-old Tony Allen II and 27-year-old Patrick Mattingly of Lagodi were found sleeping in the living room. A contingency unit of officers, including a canine unit and a trooper with the Indiana State Police who had been standing by near the residence, then arrived to assist with the completion of the search warrant. A search of the mobile home found methamphetamine, some of which was cut up into lines for a glass mirror. The trooper cleared an outbuilding and found 32-year-old Stacy and 25-year-old Cody Fields, both of Lagodi, in the structure, along with drugs in plain view. Police say this included 2 lines of powder that later field tested for meth, and they say that the outbuilding occupied by the Fields had been converted into a living area. Currency used in the drug transactions could not be found until further investigation by authorities on site, but eventually located at the Martin County B&B, where police say that Tammy had been in earlier in the morning for licensing purposes and had used the money as a payment. All 6 adult suspects were arrested at the residence and booked into the Martin County Jail on numerous drug-related charges. Authorities say that additional charges are pending because of the proximity of the alleged charges occurring near a public park where children are often present. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next we're going to take a look at your weather summary.